Hi, this is Denise Mathew, and today I'm going to do this cascading bead on a circle. It's just like a hammered circle, and it's on a chain that with just some an assortment of beads. Now, the nice thing about this is you can use any type of bead you want. If you have a lot of beads left over and you just want it to do sort of a rainbow effect, you could do that as well. I've gone with some turquoise, some smoky quartz, and some carnelian just because I want it to do that. It's sort of a summer theme with the gold. You can measure the chain to your specifications, or you could use leftover chain that you have. What I did do is after it was all the beads were at it, I did a wire wrapping around the circle and through the chains to the other side, and it's at the end so you can see how I did that. I did that at the end. Now if you prefer, because you will find that some of the chains are starting to move as you're trying to work with them. If you prefer, you could do it before you actually start adding all your beads. So you could just wrap the circle, put it through your chains, and then you would have the chain staying in one place. The reason why I didn't do that is because I like to see how the beads look and how they hang before I actually fix it all in place. Because once you put the wire through, you don't have much ability to shift it up. So let's get started. So you're going to cut as many pieces of chain as you want, and it's a really great way to use extra chain maybe that you have from other projects and stuff. Remember when you're cutting your chain that you want to do what double of the length that you want to have hanging from your circle, because double the length plus a little bit more because you're going to have some wrapped around your circle. I'm going to do some varying lengths, so I'm going to do a 5-inch, 4-inch, so I don't think I'm going to be able to get any more than probably about 4 pieces of chain because that's going to be doubled up, and I'll do maybe like just over a 3-inch. This is a 20mm hammered circle, so that's what I'm using. You could use just a regular circle if you prefer. So you're just basically going to do like an overhand kind of loop knot kind of thing. So it's not quite even, but that's okay because I don't really mind. I'm okay with sort of a graduated look. And the smaller ones will be more difficult, so maybe you want to take that into consideration when you're cutting it. They'll be more difficult to attach, but that's alright. You can still do it. It's just something to keep in mind. So what'll happen is as you put your chain on, it'll just kind of go slide by side like that. So you have a few there. And then just another one. I find it easier if I just make my loop like that and then just kind of use my pliers to put the chains right through. Easier than trying to grab hold of everything with just my fingers. Now if you put your chains on and you find some are just way too long, like maybe these are too long, I can always trim them back and use the leftover chain for another project. So I have all the chains I want, and I think that 2 are a little bit too long, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim those back. And I'll use the leftover chain for something else. You could use a 24, you could still use the same 26 that you used already. So just take your, probably about a half a foot, just take your wire, and once it's positioned, all your chains are exactly the way you want them. Just take your wire and just start to wrap around the the circle a little bit. So just maybe just about 3 or 4 wraps, whatever you want. So just gets that in place. So then you would have that on one side. And then just take that wire. I used to use a thin wire so that it can't be seen, but it's going to be the same color. So you're just going to guide it right through each one of those chains. Below the place where it's sort of almost like that knot. So something like right just below. Just go through each chain. Through the loop. So I've gone through all the chains. Once you get to the other side, you're just going to secure it on the other side easily. Just with a couple wraps, exactly the same way you started. And that way all your chains will stay in place and you'll have no problems at all. But if you're going to do this, just take the time to do it so that everything is caught up. So all your chains are, the wire's gone right through all the chains. So just do a couple more wraps on the other side, whatever you've done on the first side, just the same amount. Then trim it back and tuck in any wires. That way everything will be secure and none of your chains will move. I'm starting off with about a foot of 26 gauge wire, but you can use like up to a 24, whatever fits your beads. So it doesn't really matter, whatever works for you. So I'm just going to do a regular briolette wrap. So just put the wire right through and then just bring it up to the side. I have a full tutorial on this. I'll leave the link below in case you need more help with your wraps. So just bring the other side up. Like that. And then just do a loop on the end. So that's what you would have. Now just slide that onto any, it doesn't really matter. Like you can think about a pattern that you want to start with. So just go according to the pattern that you have in your head, or you could just go like I will be doing, just more of an organic look, because that's kind of how I do things. So just hang it onto any one of your chains, and then I'm just going to wrap down those 2 wires, just wrapping down those 2 wires. Now there's 2 options you could do. You could do just a wrap right down to the top, or you could go right down around your briolette, capturing the top and then just wrapping down a little bit. Really your choice, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to go right down. I'm just going to make it a really messy wrap. So something like that. And then just go back up a little bit and trim it back and tuck all the wires in. So that's what you would have. And you're just going to continue on doing all the different beads that you have on hand until you have them all put on. So if you notice, so when I was attaching some of the beads, some of the chains were moving. So you can reattach your chains just like you did in the beginning as you go, or as I showed you before, you can wire them before you add your beads. It's your choice. So the last thing you're going to do is just put it on this loop on a chain of any kind. I just have this chain here. So this completes the tutorial. I hope you liked it. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for coming. Bye for now.